and welcome to CX Today. I'm Rhys Fisher, Deputy Editor, and today I'm going to be speaking with Graia about the company's unique perspective on AI, empathy, and agent empowerment. And joining me for this chat is Graia's CRO, Sahil Rekhi. Sahil, thank you for joining me. How are you doing today?
Great, and thanks for having me here. Really appreciate it.
No, not at all. I think it's going to be a really interesting chat. I think, as we mentioned earlier, you guys have got quite a unique angle on things in the space. So I suppose on that, or leading on from that rather, you guys were founded with a quite a specific vision around empathy and agent empowerment. Could you maybe share the story of how the company came about and perhaps the gap in the CX landscape that you guys were looking to address?
Sure. Great question. So look, Graia was created through the coming together of various different entities. These entities specialized in customer experience, automation, analytics, business process outsourcing. We have a rich history of being in existence for over 25 years and serving enterprise clients across the globe, right? But these unique businesses, when they came together to form Graia, they gave us insights on how the CX landscape works from start to finish, from cradle to grave in various different ways, and not just across one customer, one deployment, across thousands and thousands of agents, across hundreds of different customers at a global scale, right? So that laid the foundation for what Graia is today and where Graia is headed over the next few coming years, right? We were able to study the impact of all of these technology changes over the last couple of decades and the impact that generative AI technology and agentic AI technology is having right now in this space and will continue to do so in the next couple of years. Many companies, when they move from one technology to another, they often do so without realizing the actual value, right? In fact, Gartner thinks less than 50% of the CX leaders actually believe that technology investments meet their expectations. But that's because they didn't fully realize what that technology was set to deliver. They picked up a technology, they implemented it, they didn't change anything around it, and they hoped for the outcome to change. And that's not the best way to think about how you're embracing technology. In the spirit of embracing AI-powered automated workflows, companies were designing experiences constrained by those technologies. This is where Graia comes in. At the heart of Graia, our goal is to solve for this automation, Gen AI powered paradox that this technology is created, right? It's this view of I want to reduce costs, I want to optimize my operations, has taken away from a lot of the actual underlying problems like lack of empathy, like ability to have the technology to scale, like better, truly better customer experiences that you want to deliver, like having the ability for those experiences to be fulfilled by integrating with the full enterprise application stack that exists within an organization. Those are challenges that Graia is geared to and positioned to address because with our empathy driven AI, our expertise of system integration capabilities and our understanding of the customer experience market, given our access to business process outsourcing businesses, we believe we can help our customers capture a portion of the 75 billion that they annually lose in revenue because their technology is not empathetic enough and is not rolled out in the best possible way.
Wow, it's incredible. I'd not heard that statistic before. It really does kind of highlight the market for it, I guess. It's incredible. I suppose when we talk about AI in customer service, inevitably part of the discussion will fall about the debate with AI replacing versus supporting human agents. Gray, you talk about a philosophy of being not superhuman, just Graia. What does that mean in practice, and how does it shape the way your platform is built?
At Graia, we believe that AI won't replace people. But companies that are harnessing AI effectively to truly complement the human experience and are human centric not human-like, but are human-centric, will replace those businesses that don't harness it in that way. Businesses are adopting AI at a very rapid pace, right? Yet, as Forrester has pointed out, a large majority of deployments remain small scale pilots, and many never make it out of production. And I say Forrester, frankly, you can pick up any report under the sun these days, you can pick up all of the stats that people post on LinkedIn. Everybody is saying the same thing. Majority of the AI projects are just small scale pilots, and they're not seeing the day of light. We see two reasons for this. First, only one side of the equation is considered: remove humans and save costs. Without aligning this side of the equation to the second side, which is what are the business values, outcomes you're looking to drive. And that's what creates the gap, because without having an understanding of those values and outcomes, you cannot put the right process or change management around it to create and drive that differentiation that you want to do when you're adopting this technology. It's just a recipe for disaster. That's why most of these companies are not seeing these pilots progress into production. Now, the big second piece is many AI solutions out there at a technology level are just wrappers around third party, open source, commercial, large language models. They don't provide a deep integrated experience across the tech stack, nor do they provide smooth interactions that transition between humans and machines. Frankly, I agree with the notion that if I'm a customer, I'm calling in, I shouldn't necessarily know the difference of when I'm speaking to an AI and when I'm speaking to a human. And yes, there is an element of how the AI voice interacts that plays a part in it, but there is an element of seamless integration of the technology that needs to enable that experience for those end users and customers. That's where Graia's agentic experience platform comes in. It's modular in the way we deploy it. It offers the flexibility for our customers to lay the right foundation to adopt AI technology. It addresses them to interact with their end users and employees on any channel, bringing in some omni-channel capabilities across the board, and not just limited to omni-channel. I would say two other facets to it. One being it's omni-channel. Our AI models learn what is the best way for you as an end user to interact with my business, and we're going to push those interactions on those channels because that's your preferred way of interacting with our business. And two, we're going to do that in a multimodal way. Why just limit it to if it's a text channel, if it's a WhatsApp channel or whatever, or an email channel? I don't need to limit my interaction to just text. I can limit my interaction to you sharing a video. I can grow my interaction to you sharing images, whatever. It needs to be multimodal as well as omni-channel. And at Graia, we can enable those aspects on our platform today. The second piece is not just addressing the customer engagement side of it, but also addressing the agent experience. Employee experience and agent experience is as critical, if not, is more critical, if not as critical, in delivering a better customer experience across the board and driving revenue growth for any organization. We offer our Agent Assist productivity suite with in-depth semantic and sentiment analysis, live language translation capabilities across voice and all digital channels, as well as deeper co-pilots to allow those agents to provide a more seamless experience, minimize their training and ramp up time, remove attrition for those agents, provide this in a simple, unified experience from start to finish, whether it's our contact center or somebody else's contact center, to make their end user experience easier across the board. Those things have to come together, and our goal is really simple: enable our customers to deliver differentiated experiences that help and focus on driving revenue growth. Cost savings is an inherent. We're going to get there, so we're not too worried about that. We will always deliver on the ROI, but our focus as a business, when we say we are supercharging agents or you become a superhuman when you're using Graia, it's because our focus is on delivering best in class and driving revenue growth.
Yeah, yeah, that's really interesting. And I suppose leading on from what you've said there about that perhaps proliferation of AI solutions in the CX space today, from your perspective, are there any other aspects of Graia's approach that differentiate it and how you see it adding that value for agents and, like you said, and for the customers themselves?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think you're absolutely right in saying that AI in the CX space is an extremely crowded market, right? Dare I say it, if I just look at the AI market more broadly, even slightly outside the CX space, with a lot of platform vendors that provide AI technology platforms to help impact customer experience or any other part of your business, that space becomes even more crowded. But the truth is that there are very few solutions out there. And I've been a veteran in this industry, but broadly in the CX industry for over 2 decades, right? There are very few solutions out there that have delivered truly transformative, customer enhancing interactions at scale. That's where we see a clear gap. That gap is not only in the technology, but that gap is also in how that technology is being deployed. Building on that, we differentiate ourselves in a couple of different ways. First, we come from a system integration background that specializes in customer experience. So we provide a full end-to-end view, starting with a consultative way of how you can adopt AI to disrupt and create a differentiated customer experience for your customers. Then leveraging the technology of the agentic platform, which is fully integrated with an omni-channel contact center that none of the other CCaaS vendors provide today, right? Only one name comes to mind really that has a full end-to-end own IP structure solution, and that company's only recently acquired an AI platform to fill the gap in. So by the time an integrated solution comes into the market, it's going to be a few months to maybe more than a year before they're able to get to that upside. We as a vendor have our own IP and provide a very unified, tightly integrated experience across both those facets from a CX standpoint. Second, our AI is not just about end customer experience. We offer full capabilities in a modular way for agents, supervisors to bring together the whole story to create more holistic experiences to address every step of the customer journey. And it doesn't just stop there, right? You can build on those customer experiences and then you can leverage AI further using our platform to create deeper quality management aspects and drive quality assurance on the back of that. Our goal when we are delivering new customer experiences, leveraging Graia's agentic experience platform and our CCaaS capabilities, is to help our customers drive better CSAT, improve on their NPS, and last but not least, deliver on that critical eNPS score, which is equally important on driving the CSAT and the NPS, right? The last piece I would say, which is a strong differentiator and something that we touched on at the start of our discussion as well, is empathy. Empathy controls with our human in the loop design allows our customers to leverage our platform to design use cases, flows, where there is a seamless transition between humans and the technology blended in a way that the customer is focused on the outcome. There was a research from PwC actually that comes to mind, right? That research showed that 82% of the customers want more human interactions in the future and not less. And I know that sounds like, oh wow, that's an astounding stat, right? Given all the noise we are seeing in the market about Gen AI and AI bots taking over the world and taking over AI agent jobs and Klarna canceling 3,000 AI agents jobs to go all into OpenAI, and that world is changing. That world is changing, and that's very true with, let's use Klarna again as an example, them wanting to now hire back people into the business and not just rely solely on generative AI and agentic AI capabilities. You have to create blended experiences. People buy from people. That empathy element is critical. And at Graia, we are providing our customers the ability to control empathy and the various different traits, not only to represent the brand of how they're perceived in the market, but also guide its agents and guide the AI on how they interact with the end users and customers that they're servicing with the right level of listening skills, response skills, pauses that are needed in the interaction, appreciating when somebody might be going through a level of stress, escalating that call to a human because you can detect in their voice that they are stressed about something, that there is anxiety building up. Such calls don't need to be answered by a machine. They can be instantly elevated to a human. those are capabilities that are built in our platform from the word get-go out of the box. And I feel, having been in this industry for a long time, there isn't a competitor out there who can deliver technology like this at scale. Does that make sense?
That's yeah, yeah, no, absolutely makes sense. It was just I was thinking about kind of what we've discussed so far. I suppose we've spoken about AI, perhaps quite contemporary in terms of where it is right now. I was just wondering, looking ahead, where do you think AI is headed within the customer experience space? What role do you see, as you mentioned there, empathy and perhaps human-centered design playing as the technology evolves?
That's more like a multi-billion dollar question, right? There are so many companies, as you just pointed out with your previous question, trying to predict the answer of this very piece of where this space is headed. But look, I think today artificial intelligence in customer experience is a very fragmented aspect. It's really being driven by a series of what I call as point solutions. So whether you're thinking of CRM vendors trying to bring in AI technology, contact center vendors trying to bring in AI technology, or RPA solutions trying to bring in AI technologies, and the likes, right? You get my drift on that. They're all bringing in and sprinkling in aspects of AI in their solutions just to make their solutions stickier with their customers. And in some ways, as a vendor of those technologies, they're doing the right things. But the result is broken customer journeys. Customers are being forced to experience sales, marketing, customer service, troubleshooting, retention, all these facets of the customer journey in silos. Why? Because the vendor landscape is limiting of how this technology is being made available and this technology is being deployed by its customers. This will change. AI will definitely fundamentally drive a change there. Today, you're already seeing aspects around MCP, which have been around now for quite a few months, or actually more than a year. You have new protocols in A2A communications coming up with AI. All of these aspects are only set to grow in how AI can stitch together and create more fulfilling customer journeys. And that change will result in more consistent customer experiences, more predictable outcomes, and companies, customers, platforms, technology being generally more proactive to the customer's needs. One unified platform will form the true basis of how an AI powered business is getting transformed. Enterprise SaaS has been around for a few decades, it served us well. But its time is slowly coming to an end. It's going to change, it's going to get embraced. Your front end of how you interact with technology is going to be AI driven, and it's going to be no different for CX. Frankly, in the CX space, do I really need a CRM? Do I really need a contact center? No. The reality is more and more, and technology is headed this way, that if I have an AI platform that provides me with the right database capabilities, actually don't, and the automation capabilities on the back end, I don't necessarily need a CRM because the AI is doing the job for me. I can just have the human actually hold the conversation and let AI do all of the heavy lifting for both to coexist and deliver a completely transformed customer experience, as well as a much more cost optimized customer experience for those clients, right? So there's going to be a big shift in that space. And that's how I see companies need to embrace some of this technology at a company-wide level. There's also a big shift in workforce skills. I mean, McKinsey is already outlined, right? AI adoption doesn't require a huge deal of technical training, but it does require some new roles, some skill sets that large customer care operations or customer experience operations teams or sales teams or marketing teams need to bring in-house. Every department needs to have a new structure of how they operationalize their business unit and delivering the right outcome. And that's where some of the new skill sets of stitching different pieces of technology is come together and is going to make a significant change on the CX side. humans will need to provide a more elevated engagement and higher value contributions. And at Graia, we have focused on empowering humans to be able to do just that, leveraging our technology. Whether you're thinking of CX, whether you're thinking of employee experience, you're thinking of process automation at scale, our platform gives our customers and our prospects the reach to think of their business in a holistic way, focus on the outcomes, focus on simplified experiences, and deliver a VIP like experience for every customer, every employee, every partner that your business wants to interact with, not just a select few.
Thank you very much. Like you said, it was a little bit of a billion-dollar question, but I appreciate you giving quite a detailed response there and some really interesting predictions, I guess. And also, I think just going back to perhaps the first part of the chat, I think what you guys are doing around empathy, I think is really interesting because you hear a lot of vendors mention it, but when you scratch below the surface a little bit, quite often it can be maybe just lip service, whereas obviously you guys have actual practical steps and features in place to try and not just introduce it, but also I suppose leverage it to everyone's benefit, I guess.
Yeah, for us, it's front and center, right? It goes with the philosophy of how we've gone to market, how we've been interacting with our customers. We've learned a lot from our customers over the last couple of years of deploying this technology, and we are taking those learnings and bringing them into the roadmap. Watch out from our side in this space. We continue to invest in empathy being a big differentiator for us. And there are some exciting developments on the roadmap, which I'm looking forward to announce in the market in the coming months.
There we go. Sounds exciting. I think that's a great thing, a great place to end things. Thank you again, Sahil, for coming. Like I said, it was
Fantastic.
a really great chat.
Thank you very much for having me here. Great to talk to you
No,
today.
yeah. I would also like to just quickly thank our viewers for tuning in today. If you did enjoy this, please remember to like and subscribe to the channel, and remember you can head on over to CX Today for more stories like these. Until next time, thank you for watching.